Hi guys, I'm Katie Jane, also known as the Makeup Service, and I am so excited to tell you guys that I'm bringing you a YouTube channel. So I'm going to be bringing you guys tutorials every Sunday. So I'm mainly going to be working with models, but also you're going to be seeing me working with real life clients. So I hope I can teach fellow makeup artists and people that just want to learn on the sides all my tips and techniques. So guys, if you want to see what's coming up soon, please like and subscribe and comment below. So the first look that I am doing on this whole channel, I guess, is with Jenny, which is amazing. I think you guys might have seen Jenny if you guys have been following my Instagram for a while, the Makeup Service. We've definitely done a couple of looks, for sure. Jenny is beautiful and she's done a lot of really amazing beauty things. And she's actually living in Qatar at the moment as a model, but she's between London and Qatar. So I'm so excited to be working with her today. And we've created this look. So I've been using the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions. So if you guys want to see how I created it, please keep watching. So I've already prepped Jenny's skin with some moisturizer and serum. So I'm going to go straight in with my Mercier primer, and I'm just going to be taking this brush and just blending it all over. This primer is amazing. So this is like my go-to primer, the Mercier primers. So you guys are probably going to see me use it all the time, but it really just helps to smooth out the skin and keeps the makeup on. So next I'm going to start with the brows, and I'm going to use the soap brow. A little bit of a tip which I've already done. I just put like a little primer in the soap brow just to kind of warm it up because the soap can be so hard. And I'm just going to take a mascara wand and just brush up those brows. Jenny, you have amazing brows. So to fill them in, I'm just going to be taking my Anastasia brow palette. This is also something I use all the time. And just in upward strokes, I'm just going to slowly fill in the brows. So I've actually gone for quite a light shade. These can be really deceptive. So this looks like the right colour, but it's going to be super dark. So I'm just going to go a little bit lighter with it. And just fill in those brows. Do you do anything to your brows?
No.
Do you just leave them?
Yeah. Well, I heard if you pluck them, they go back thicker, so I try not to.
I think you don't really need to.
They're so invisible.
Have you ever dyed them?
I did once, but they went really ginger, and it really didn't look good. And it didn't actually match my hair, so yeah, it looked a bit strange.
Have you ever done it for shoots?
I've only ever had them bleached, like even more bleached.
Oh, really? But that's quite a good look. I've always wanted to actually do that on a shoot.
It's like a little bit alien.
But then did they dye it back for you on the day?
No, just let it grow out.
Oh. So I've just filled it in, and as you can see, it's just given a little bit of shape and definition. Obviously, because Jenny is quite fair, we don't want to go really harsh. So next I'm just going to prime the eyes. I'm going to be taking my NARS Tinted Smudge Proof Shadow Base. So I'm actually using this in shade Light. And I take it all the way up to the brows, just to kind of like neaten up the brows and to shape it. And then I'm just going to be putting it all over the lid. So I'm going to be taking the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsession. I'm going to be using this palette today. So I'm going to first go in with the lighter shade, and I'm just going to be buffing that all into Jenny's crease. So I'm just going to create a really nice, like a brown, smoky eye, perfect for an evening or a date night. Next, I'm just going to go in with this slightly warmer shade, and I'm just going to be concentrating it in the corner and just kind of using like a rotation. So I'm actually using the Zoeva Soft Finer. Zoeva brushes are amazing. I've literally just had this one for years, and I'm just going to be buffing that in the corner just to give a little bit of depth. So next I'm going to be taking the darker tone. So this is the darkest. I'm still using the same brush, and I'm just going to be buffing it in the corners and just winging it out slightly. So when we come to cleaning it a bit later, we're just going to get a really nice defined wing. So you guys can kind of like build this up as dark as you want to go, but I'm not going to go too dark today, just because Jenny's quite fair, so we don't want the eyes to be overkill. just now going to go with my pencil brush from MAC. So I'm just going to go into the corners, just making it a little bit darker. So I just want to give it a little bit more depth. So these Huda Beauty eyeshadows are great, but you do need to really build them up, because as you can see, in the palette it's quite dark. But obviously on the eye, you just need to really build it up in order to get that colour. Next, I'm going to be taking this shiny colour. So as you can see, I'm putting my brush on it. It is a little bit crumbly. I need to get Huda Beauty to sort that out. And I'm just going to be placing that on the centre of the eye. So the great thing about these, they're not too shiny. They're just going to give a little bit of a highlight to the eye. So I'm just going to do that on both. And then with the same brush, I'm literally just gonna spin it around, save me washing loads of brushes. The best thing when I do makeup is I don't want to use like hundreds and hundreds of brushes if I can help it. So you'll always probably see me using the same brush for a lot of different things. And I'm just gonna go with a slightly lighter one, just in the corner, so we just get a really beautiful fade. And you can bring that right down into the tear duct. Because when Jenny opens her eye, if you just open for me, you can see that it's come down, and later on when we clean that, you'll still see that highlight. So next I'm going to be taking the Stubborn Brown by MAC, super soft as you can see. So it's what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the eye and then I'm going to blend it out. So if you just close your eyes for me, so I'm just going to run it along the lash line. And I've sharpened it so I can get a really nice point as well. And if you look down this way for me, Jenny. Well, if you just lift up the eye a little bit, it's just going to nicely define the eye. And look down this way, perfect. And also, I'm just going to run it along at the top and look down that way. Because it really helps to define the eye. So then I'm just going to be taking a flat brush and I'm just going to be blending out that kohl pencil. So I'm just going to do that on the other eye as well. I'm just going to run it along the eye, and if you look down that way for me. And down this way. And that way. And look up for me. So I'm just going to be taking the same Stubborn Brown, and I'm just going to be running that along in the waterline. And then I'm just going to be taking the darker shade, and look at me, and I'm just going to be running that along in the corner. And then like we did with the top, I'm just going to be taking this shade in the middle, and it will fade into the lighter shade that we applied earlier. For lashes, I'm going to be using the Eyeliner Fleur de Force ones. These are, as you can see, they are just like corner ones. I don't want anything like too big, so I'm just going to apply these on the corner of Jenny's eyes. So before I stick on the lashes, I always like to coat the lashes with a little bit of mascara, just because I find that it gives the lashes something to stick to. So I'm just going to be using this Smashbox mascara, which I love. And open for me. So I've just coated them slightly. And I've applied a little bit of duo glue, so I'm just going to be using my hands, and I'm just going to be placing them on the edge of the lashes. Down it. So I'm going to go back in with my mascara just to kind of like join the lashes up so they look a little bit more natural. And then if you look up for me, and I'm just going to be applying mascara on the bottom lashes. My trick, I always apply loads. I think it's really important just to define those lashes. And what you don't want to be when you're using lashes to be really top heavy.
Oh, it looks so nice.
Cute.
I love those corner lashes.
Yeah. So next I'm moving on to the skin. So I'm just going to be taking the Smashbox Studio Skin, and I'm actually using shade 1.05. And for skin, I'm actually taking this fluffy brush by MAC, just because I think it gives a slightly more lighter coverage. And Jenny's skin's amazing, so I just don't want to give a huge coverage, but obviously I just want to even her out slightly. So I'm just going to be buffing that all over and kind of just avoiding under the eyes. So I've just buffed it all over the skin. As you can see, it's given like a nice even coverage, but it's still showing your freckles. Your freckles are so cute. So we didn't want it completely covered. And with this brush, I do really think you get that really light coverage. For the concealer, I'm going to be taking my Laura Mercier concealer in shade N1. And I'm just going to be taking a buffing brush and I'm just going to apply that under Jenny's eyes. So I'm going to be taking it up to the eyeshadow, and this is, when I take it up to the eyeshadow, I slightly then start to shape the eyeshadow, as you can see, just to get a really nice wing. I'm just going to do it to the side. So I'm just going to be buffing it upwards. And I'm not going all the way up, just so we can keep that shape. And just look straight for me. And as you can see, compared to the other side, with the concealer, I've created a really nice shape. And what I do is I take the concealer around the nose and a little bit around the mouth. So someone told me, because we talk so much, our mouth is moving so much, obviously throughout the day, so makeup always comes off here first. So that's why I always apply, or my clients, or anything I'm doing, I always apply a little bit of extra concealer around the mouth, because that's how makeup's gonna come off first. So just to contour Jenny's face, I'm going to be taking the shade Sculpt by MAC. As you can see, it's literally one of my favourite contour powders. And I'm just going to be applying it down here. Obviously on paler skin, what you don't want to do is go in with really warm colours. So I'm just going in with quite a cool tone contour just to shade it. And then later on we can add a little bit of warmth if we need to. So I'm going to take a little bit of the contour powder as well, just around the hairline. And the only reason I do this is because what I don't want is just like one stripe going down the face. So I just add a little bit of contour up here and a little bit underneath. So just add a little bit of warmth, because obviously the contour is so cool. I'm just going to be taking the NARS Laguna bronzer. Using the same brush, I'm just going to slightly go over it. And the reason I didn't just use this is because I think it would have been so warm. So I'm just going to add a little bit of warmth. And same again, I'm just going to do a little bit on the hairline. And on the center. For blush, I'm going to be taking the Cheek to Chic by Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm obsessed with her blushes. And I'm just going to be taking the shade Ecstasy. And if you just smile for me, Jenny. So I'm just going to be applying that on the apples of the cheeks, and then just blending it up, just kind of in circular motions, just to add a little bit of colour to the face. And what you always want to be avoiding is these bits, and just keeping the centre of the face really light. So for the highlight, I'm going to be taking the Fort de France by NARS, and I'm just going to apply it kind of from the apples of the cheek upwards. And why I do that, I think it's slightly more natural rather than just doing a stripe here. So you can bring the highlighter down, and I'm going to apply it down the centre of the nose. And back on this side. I'm just going to go on the side, and you can kind of see that it's just been really nicely, naturally highlighted without being too much. You can kind of also still see Jenny's skin underneath, which is so important. So for the lips, I'm going to be taking my Boldly Bare lip pencil by MAC. So I'm just going to be shaping Jenny's lips. You have the most amazing lip shape there. Have you done work just with your lips?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, you have. I've seen it. What was it for?
Makeup Forever.
Yeah, this is what I see. So if you ever see lips on Makeup Forever, this. So I'm just going to go around it. I don't want it to be like too sharp and precise. I still want it to look quite natural. So I've just filled it in slightly, and then I'm just going to be taking my. So I'm just going to be taking the Huda Beauty Demi Matte. I actually don't know if I've used it. And it's called Feminist. So I'm just going to be taking a Zoeva lip brush, and I'm just going to be applying that on the lips. What I try and aim to do is make sure like the cheeks and the lips and the eyes really match up, and I think that's so important as a makeup artist, and I see it kind of go wrong all the time, is that whatever you do on the lips, like make sure it matches. So if someone says a red lipstick, make sure you think, how is a red lipstick going to match up with the eyes and cheek, rather than just doing the eyes, cheeks and lips separately. Fabulous. So last but not least, I'm going to be taking the Huda Beauty Resting Boss Face. It's like a setting primer. It's amazing. Not going to lie, it's got a really strong smell to it. It is, you'll see what I mean in a minute. But I'm just going to use I'm going to finish by setting the face with this. And just close to me. Wait for it.
Oh wow.
It is so strong.
It smells nice though.
Yeah, it smells nice.